Hey guys, this is Justice Reaper 1. I'm sorry I haven't done a deck profile or any kind of video in a very long time, but right now I'm trying to put my channel back together. I've still been playing card games, it's just that I just haven't been on YouTube for the purpose of making videos. But anyways, right now I have a Gravekeeper deck profile. This is a very similar build to what I ran at YCS Atlanta this year. And at YCS Atlanta I placed like 170th, 174th or something. Went 6-3 and lost to Dino Rabbits in the final round. Lost to Dino Rabbit, 6 Sams, and Injector player. And then my wins are mainly against Rogue decks and Injectors. Um, so, but I decided skill drains at that event, but this time I'm maining skill drains because of how powerful they are, and because if I play skill drains, I'm really just running a bunch of 2K beaters, or 21 beaters in the case of Commandants. I can still get over Cyber Dragon. So here's the build. It's 3 Descendants. He's kind of normal. And you use 2K beater under skill drain. 3 Critters. Oh, he gets past skill drain, and he's the mainstay of the deck. He's what made it competitive at this past YC's Atlanta back in November in 2010, which I played Magical Explosion at. 3 Gravekeeper Spies. Even under skill drain, it's still a 25. It's still a 25 defense block. So against Dino Rabbit, they really just sit there waiting for an out, like a Forbidden Lance, to waste on this guy. But if they Forbidden Lance it under Necro Valley, it'll lose the 500 and it'll lose the 500 defense from Necro Valley and the 800. So it'll get down to 12 defense, which it's 12 defense, which would be kind of bad. So they can even run it over something a lot smaller. Then you have 3 Commandants. I have the ulti ones. Very nice. And he's terraforming. I know a lot of people when they first start playing this deck, even if especially if they're not competitive, if they're new to the game, because it's a very new friendly deck, you'll see them running terraformings. And even though it might be another card, this guy's a lot better, and terraforming really does slow down the deck because he's also a beater stick, a lot like a lot of other cards, but he's been the only really good beat stick searcher, like kind of like the guy that grabs Sanctuary in the Sky, but Sanctuary's never played, but this actually is a playable deck. Then I have 2 Assailants, and even if I don't use him that much, he's good to get around big guys, and also like Xians, XYZs, get over if I try to rush his end mains or something. And sometimes he's my only monster, I just set him face down first turn, like with a Necro Valley and a Roll Tribute. It's a lot better than just playing face up and attack, because he's still 2K either way. Then I have a Gale. Gale, I've picked him instead of Birdman because when I'm not under skill drain, he can still use his effect to have attack and everything, which can be very good in Dino Rabbit. And almost any matchup nowadays, I can get out beat stick monsters. Then you have 3 Necro Valley. That's a mainstay. 2 Royal Tribute. I probably never open Royal Tribute plays first turn. I always seem to have Deluxe Sack into a second turn play. I remember twice at the YCS, like very mid to late game, I Royal Tributed into 5 or 6 cards from both were the Injector players. I have 5 to 6 cards from each of them, and they kind of scooped after that. 3 Poly Dualities, and that's since I don't special summon that much, especially under skill drain, which I run 2 of main deck. This helps a lot with the searching. Lair of Darkness. I did not run a Lure at the YCS because I felt that it was not necessary for the engine, but now I feel that I might need more draw power, which is kind of absent from the deck because there's a lot more searching than drawing. 2 Steals. 3 is way too many for dead draws, and 1 grab monsters like in a very tight game, so I found 2 to be a perfect number. Dark Hole, Book of Moon. I don't run Monster Reborn because of Necro Valley, of course. I don't run Heavy Storm because I run a lot of back row. Smashing Ground, and then 1 MST. I made 2 MSTs of YCS, but now I'm siding them instead. And the Smashing is mainly my Rabbit matchup. 1 Solemn Judgment, and then this is the Solemn Brigade, and then 2 Warnings. 1 Starlight Road. 1 Torrential. I'm deciding not to run 2 because by the time I'm using Trenchel, I probably already lost the game because I either board rush or I don't a lot nowadays. And this you can't really just hit with a 2K beater every turn. Now you either got to end the game quick or you lose yourself to a big play unless you have a skill drain. Mirror Force, and then I ran I run 3D prisons. I find it very necessary for because this deck has a very big problem with Dino Rabbit like always. So really this is just a Dino Rabbit matchup. That's what it comes down to. Rivalry of Warlords. This is probably the best card I've ever played. You know, I'd play that on the Rabbit play, and really that there's sit there with two guys that basically disappear in the end phase. And even if you're Forbidden Lance, you can't even Forbidden Lance because it's not even affected because once they leave the field, it's still the rule is still in check for because it's passive, it doesn't target. Then I have 2 skill drains, and that is what kind of completes. Also, I'd like to say that I would like to congratulate Marquise Henderson, who goes to my locals. He's a good friend of mine for winning the YCS. I do think that he still have a very good deck, have a very good run with them into the next format with a slightly more anti-meta feel. And I do know that even though he did not have a lot of staples like trap hands and stuff, hand traps, and Phoenix Chains, he was able to play around everything. I know him to be a very skilled player, and even though a lot of people are hating on him for saying the fact that he's only topped the locals once or something like that, you can't mince his words against him, because you gotta remember he is somewhat new to the game, but he's a very good player, and I've watched his progression a lot, and he's a very cool guy to hang out with, and he's not an asshole or anything. So I'd like to completely congratulate him, and I think I see this with the rest of the people in my area of Georgia, that we're proud to have one of our players top and win. Alright, and so I don't really want to show my side deck and extra deck. They're not complete either. I'm still figuring out the kinks, but I hope to do a segment on perfecting Gravekeepers, kind of like Robbie Cole with gadgets. So if you think that'd be a good idea, put it in the description bar or something, or send me a PM, because I consider Gravekeepers to be my deck, because I played it a lot before Recruiter first came out. Like I played at the Nationals 2010 during the Infernities Rocket 50K format and with Rescue Cat, and so I found that it was a very good thing, a very good matchup. But the worst, I played against Machinas and Gadget Depression all day, which does not help. But so I really do consider this deck very, very good, even going to the next format. But I do think it has to have a more anti-meta feel, more locked, if it's going to succeed against a lot faster decks. Because it's kind of taking the place of like other rogue decks like GBs, because unlike GBs, it has a very powerful turn 1 play if it goes first. And a roll of tribute can really knock an opponent out of the game, like wind-ups, not as much stuff like Rescue Rabbit, Dino Rabbit, but it can do that if they open the nuts and they can't defend their hand for a couple turns while you just hitting them over and over again. Anyways, please subscribe and do as much as you can to help out my channel. And also remember, if you'd like to see a segment on Gravekeepers, please like, post, comment, and share with all your friends. Alright, thanks YouTube. This is Just Reaper 1 signing off.